Hi muckers, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all having the best day ever. Thank you so much for clicking on my video today. My hands are moving about more than normal today. I have no idea why that's happening. Sorry, I'm just very energetic and I'm super excited to sit down and talk. Okay, also the topic at hand today is something that I would never have expected that we were talking about. It is involving Jason Nash talking about his relationship with Trisha Paytas. Now, if you're aware of it like I am, Jason and Trisha really don't talk about each other anymore. And I'm aware that people are saying, you know, like, Trisha's not talking about drama anymore. Trisha very, like, solemnly talked about Jason anyway within the past year or so after she got with Moses. It was kind of awkward to bring him up. So we never really hear anything from Trisha, and Jason never brings up Trisha Paytas. Like, he never does. And I mean, for warranted reasons. I mean, he was very clearly in a very, ABUSIVE relationship. It was very clear from an outsider's standpoint that that was an unhealthy relationship. It was a toxic relationship, and it was something that neither of them necessarily should have been in, but they both probably for different reasons felt inclined to stay. Now, without overstepping my boundary, which I'm gonna do because I really don't give a shit, I think Jason stayed in the relationship out of fear of what Trisha was going to do to herself if he broke up with her. And he says it in this clip. He says that Trisha on multiple occasions threatened to end her life over Jason, and that she would drive her car off a cliff, and that she would do all these things, and then they would find her at the hospital, they would find her in a ditch, she would do that constantly. So I believe that Jason stayed in the relationship out of fear. And that is a toxic, awful relationship. And I really don't like Jason Nash, but I mean, I'm so glad that he's out of that. And I also think that with Trisha Paytas, she loved Jason way more than Jason loved her. And I think that she was so desperately chasing the same love that she was trying to inflict onto him, the same that she thought that she deserved back, but he was never giving it. So then Trisha was staying in it to try see how much he would love her. And I also think we've all been there where we're in situations where we kind of like someone more than they like us. And, you know, you act in not a good way. And I'm not justifying any of Trisha's behavior here. I'm talking about, like, the petty stuff that would happen in vlogs or stuff like that. Like, I'm not talking about the serious stuff here. Trisha was so desperately just trying to be loved, and that's not excusing her. That just goes to show that this relationship was absolutely awful. Again, they really don't speak about it, and on top of all of that, Trisha absolutely hated Jason's ex-wife. She didn't want him to, you know, spend time with her whenever he would have the kids. So that was also a thing. Trisha Paytas hated Jason Nash's best friend. She hated David Dobrik for obvious reasons, and I mean, I don't judge you there, babe. But, you know, everyone else as well, and it just was, Jason was her little pet. And Jason hasn't spoken out, and I do believe that a main reason for it is he's scared of Trisha responding, because again, we're aware of how this plays out. But I think an also reason is he's just trying to, like, move past that period as much as possible, because it was a bad period, and it probably was something he looks back on with regrets, many of them. So before we watch this clip, I have it right here. He was on the BFFs podcast. I have a couple minute section from it. He also brings up the fact that Trisha Paytas would be a character on camera. That she was a great, it wasn't comedian, but it was a great performer. That she was a great performer, because he gets asked about, was it real? Is that actually how she acts off camera? And he was basically saying, like, no, we would turn on the camera and she would just go on one. Or we would turn on the camera and she's ready to fight. Or we're, you know, and it just goes to show that whenever people talk about Trisha's behavior and Trisha's actions, that so much of it, even now, even on Frenemies, even last year, was probably faked for the standpoint of, let me see how many views I can get. Let me see how much I can destruct, and then see how much I can claw in with the money. That's exactly what it boils down to. So we're going to get to this clip, and we are going to talk about it. Here we go. This is Jason Nash on the BFFs podcast with the other two people on the BFFs podcast who I don't know the names of.
So I was, like, all proud of myself. Like, you know, I put my foot down, you know.
Good job, Jason.
Yeah, and then she called back like 5 minutes later, and she was like, I'm gonna fucking kill myself. You know, she was like driving down Laurel Canyon, like swerving saying she's gonna like drag her car off the road.
Fucking terrifying.
And then long story short, you know, we found her in a ditch with the police and shit like that. And so I really did try to, like, take care of her, and I loved her a lot, and it just got to be too much.
No, I know that this is probably something that was common knowledge, but we now have it confirmed from Jason's standpoint that Trisha Paytas was threatening to off herself on multiple occasions to make him be in love with her. We now have it confirmed from Jason Nash. Obviously, Trisha can say this didn't happen. I always believed it happened anyway, just from the way that Trisha would talk about it. But now we have it from Jason Nash. Trisha was actively threatening to off herself while blaming Jason for the reason she was going to do it. Let me tell you something, muckers, without taking the video to that kind of place, which I mean it already is. If you're in a friendship, a relationship, family, friends, anything, where someone is doing what we have just listened to you, get out of that situation. And I know that that is way easier said than done, but there is resources available, and it's that step of taking the leap is something that is truly terrifying, and my heart goes out to anyone who's experiencing this stuff right now. But please try your best to get yourself out of that situation. I understand how much easier said than done that is, but there is people out there, there is help out there. This is not how you should be living. This is not how you should be held down. And there are things that you can do, and it is really hard to make yourself do those things, but just know that we're all here for you, and if you're going through this, you have all of my fucking love, because this is one of the most toxic, like, evil situations a person can be put in, where they're living in a loop of their partner or their friend or their family member threatening to do all of this stuff to themselves simply because they don't feel that they're being given what they should be given by said other person. Yeah.
Now, she seems to be doing really good. She's pregnant. She has a baby coming. And I think that, you know, there was sort of this unfillable hole with her where she would, like, buy a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff in excess, and it never really made her happy. So I hope that, you know, when the baby comes, that'll be the thing that, like...
I mean, I fucking hope, Jason.
Yeah,
Jesus, what else?
She has a husband now, a great husband, handsome guy, comes from a good family.
Jason's being overly nice here, I think, to avoid problems, but great husband, okay, and comes from a great family. You can say true, yeah, but family that was then ruined by Trisha. Did you hear that? Someone on a boat just had a silly little ringtone. It was like, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. That was silly. I loved it.
But yeah, that's it. Sorry about the long-winded answer. It's fucking... Dave, I could tell you stories.
No, but that's kind of what I you seem super grounded in every conversation. I'm not saying you're not.
Well, it kind of seems like a little
I
bit
can't picture you.
Y'all stop talking over each other.
But when you know her, you know, there's like a lot of good things about her too. You know,
sure.
she was.
And
great
I don't know, right? And I don't know her at all. I always preface that. The only things I see are from what she puts out as content when we've had her on the show. But it talking to you and talking to her are like, to me,
almost polar opposites.
But she's not like.
Here we go.
She's pretty boring, and I mean that as a compliment. Like she's not like crazy. It's just when she gets crazy. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Which she was
often.
my
Kids.
Did she like up it for the camera? Like would she up it? Like
she's an incredible performer.
Yeah. Okay.
She's an incredible performer.
So there we have it, from someone who was directly involved in so many of these performances with Trisha. That is how she acts. We've all speculated this, that the online world is like a joke to her and she trolls it and stuff like that. But there we have it. It's all a performance to her. It is all a performance to Trishy Fishy. So I'm gonna remember that whenever I'm looking back on this stuff, you know what I mean? And whenever Trisha does more outbursts online, I'm gonna be like, ah, you're a performer. As Gabby Hanna would say, you're an artist. Okay.
Performer for the camera, so
she's a performer for the camera.
Like, what do we do today? And she'd come down with a fucking birdcage on her head or something, you know,
just ready to go,
just
like
some crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it was incredible. It was like, you know, we used to just make videos and.
By the way, that story could also be why I look younger than you.
Yes.
That
can age you guys.
Would you say you have like a savior's complex kind of thing? Do you think that played into it?
Okay, 100%.
Yeah.
And so then even when I was like, even when she had already like really hurt me bad and we were broken
This is
up.
probably not good for
Because they went back a lot.
But I couldn't leave her because she was threatening suicide. Now it turns out she admitted that she was never gonna commit suicide, but I would call her mom and be like, she's threatening suicide. They wouldn't call me back.
Yeah.
And I really did try, and that's actually really exactly what it was. You know, it's but I wish her the best. I hope she fucking has a healthy baby. I hope everything's great, and I don't know if you guys know, but she really turned over a new leaf. Like, she doesn't talk shit about anybody or.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I liked her when she was on. It's just
I always thought
she didn't like.
I'm actually gonna let it play and now talk.
She liked Josh.
Yeah, that's what she does. She'll like. She used to do that with me and David. She'd be like, "David's so cute," you know, and I'd be like, she just does that to like relate to the younger kids.
Yeah.
This really, and I know that it annoys a lot of you as well in the comments because we talked about this. I really hate this full excusing everything Trisha has done because people are like, there's a new leaf. There's a new leaf. Yeah, and in a couple months, the leaf's gonna turn fucking brown and rot. It's actually very clever of me actually to say that. No, but seriously, like, I'm so over people excusing Trisha's years, 15 years of online bullying and harassment of people, and cultural appropriation, and just appropriation of everything, making fun of everyone, like, doing anything that will get her attention. And even in the last 5 years, being involved in non-stop drama, literally funding my fucking bank account, like, and that's not a compliment, that's like, evaluate yourself. All of this, even just going through those like 5 years, and then literally being like, oh, but she got pregnant, and you know, she is, you know, trying to have a healthy baby, which is exactly what she should be doing, and good for her. She's not really, you know, she's turned over a new leaf. She doesn't really talk shit about anyone in a while. You mean for the duration of her being pregnancy, and she's probably aware that if she got involved in a big drama while pregnant, that it would have a huge knock-on effect to the baby, which is why she isn't doing it. Give it a couple months after the baby's born. She said on multiple occasions now that all it takes for her to get a lot of money again is involve herself in drama. So it's gonna come. She wouldn't be teasing drama before she's doing it or exposing people. That's how her career works. We see the numbers falling off. She has openly said, so it's not even a criticism that I'm giving her. She's openly said that once she wants views again, once she wants money again, she'll go back to the drama ways. So turning a new leaf, my ass. But I want to know what your opinion is of it, Mucker. I really appreciate you being here. Let me know. We'll talk about it below. Me and Garfield say goodbye, and we'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye. Mwah. Love you.